About a year ago, I made a video going through every update that made Clash Royale worse. I always knew I would be making a part 2 because Clash Royale isn't Clash Royale without bad updates. What I didn't know was that I would be making one so soon. I mean, the devs went on a generational run last year, my god. The game has become so bad that I went from a 163-day streak to barely playing. Even Jinxie quit, bro. At least we still have the drunk Australian. The day Ken leaves is the day Clash is truly dead. But before I get into all the bad updates from 2025, there were 2 big updates I missed in the previous video that the comments reminded me of. So, number 1, the removal of 2v2. 2v2 has been removed multiple times for long periods in its history, and my question is, why? Just why? I have been thinking of it for the past week while making this video, and I cannot come up with a single logical reason to remove 2v2. Removing it doesn't bring new players, it doesn't engage existing players, and most important to Supercell, it doesn't even make them money. All removing 2v2 does is get rid of players who like the mode. Why the devs would want that, I don't know. At least now it seems like 2v2 is back for good. Number 2, the October 2021 Royale. I can't believe I forgot this one. The outrage after this update was probably the worst backlash Supercell had received up to this point. In case you weren't around, let me explain. Royale was an event where for a couple of weeks all gold upgrade costs were halved. During this event you could upgrade 2 cards for the gold price of 1 card normally. There was also a gold rush event and game mode, allowing you to get even more gold. But wait, cheaper upgrades and more gold? Isn't that a good thing? That's what everyone at the time thought as well. The problem with Royale came a few days after the event started, when Supercell announced the real update, level 14. For the first time in 6 years, Supercell was adding a new level right when Royale was set to end. When level 14 was announced, it was also announced that earlier levels would be made cheaper, both in terms of gold and cards. After the community did the math, they realized that waiting for the price cuts coming in the update was actually cheaper than upgrading during Royale, due to the reduction in the card requirements. This meant that everyone who spent all their cards, gold, and magic items during Royale actually lost progress. The community was baited into spending all their resources, so they would have no way to upgrade to the new level when it came out. The backlash was so bad that Supercell did roll out a compensation, but the damage was done. When level 14 came out, anyone who participated in Royale could not afford to upgrade their main deck because they had wasted all their magic items and gold on random cards, thinking they were getting a good deal. Supercell claimed innocence, but I'm pretty certain they knew exactly what they were doing. Besides the 2 updates, a few other comments, specifically one from Champion1859, reminded me of multiple OP card releases and buffs that I also forgot, so let me speed run through them real quick. Number 3, 2016 Royal Giant. He was buffed, he was OP. Number 4, 2016 Elixir Pumped. It was buffed, it was OP. Number 5, Light Witch. She was released, she was OP. Number 6, Royal Ghost. Released, OP. 2019 Fisherman. Buffed, OP. 2019 Wall Breakers. Buffed, OP. Eagle, OP. Goblin Drill, OP. Mighty Miner, OP. Evo Knight, OP. Number 13, Goblin Machine, Demolisher, and Curse. They were all released and they were all OP, resulting in the worst meta ever. And there, that should be the backlog out of the way. Although, I'm sure someone will point out something else I missed. If you made it through the intro, please take a moment to subscribe. I'm like 30 subs away from monetization, so it would really help me out. Now, let's get to the updates after April 2025, which is when Boss Bandit was added. Number 14, Evo Witch. Duh. Number 15, Merge Tactics. Okay, I know this is an insane take, but I'm one of like 5 people that actually plays this mode. It's genuinely fun and more chill than regular Clash, but I'm in the minority. Most people find Merge Tactics boring and disappointing. It's because this mode was originally advertised as the return of Clash Mini, a Supercell game that was in beta forever before it was finally axed. I never really played Mini, but those who did say that Merge Tactics is basically a completely different game. Add that disappointment to poor rewards, poor balancing, and mostly bot games, and you get a pretty underwhelming game mode release. Number 16, Seasonal Arenas and Trophy Road resets. With Merge Tactics, Trophy Road was reworked again. Now anyone with trophies between 10,000 and 15,000 had their trophies reset at the beginning of every season. You then had to spend the season climbing again just for it to be reset a month later. On top of that, Path of Legends, now ranked, was locked until you reached 15,000. In other words, Every season you had to grind and max regular ladder just to get access to grinding ranked ladder. This turned Clash into a full-time job for anyone who wanted to take ranked seriously, since you had to climb 2 ladders in a single month. And obviously the rewards on the road sucked, with a useless badge awarded at the end of the season. Number 17, Disabled Challenge tab. You know that useless button on the right of the game that does nothing and has been under construction for months? Yeah, that used to be where all the special game modes and challenges were. I don't know if this is just a problem for me, but I often miss new game modes and challenges because I just forget to check the selector regularly. It's a lot more hidden and out of the way than the dedicated tab. Also, the under construction tab is just ugly and makes the game look outdated. Put anything there, even temporarily, like the new social menu or TV Royale. Number 18, Treasure Chests and Rewards nerf. Man, the June 2025 update was just horrible all around. For no reason, they nerfed some chests to give no wildcards, and decreased the gems you get from champion masteries. Number 19, Evo Skeleton Barrel, OP. Number 20, Furnace Rework and Evo Furnace. The worst comeback story in history. This card went from never being used to being in over 90% of decks. Number 21, Champion Cycle Rework. This was actually a rare good change. I'm just mentioning it because it should have been done way sooner. Actually, it never should have been in the game at all. Before the rework, champions could not be played again until the first one died. This meant that anyone using a champion only had to cycle 3 cards instead of the regular 4 to play a card again. Cycle decks just became more OP than they already were, and the problem became even worse with Evos. There's a reason you never see Golem Beatdown anymore. Reworking champions to work like normal cards was the one good change they've had in months. Of course, what we didn't know was that this change was just a herald for the disaster to come. More on that later. Number 22, Lucky Chests. Lucky Drops are now Lucky Chests and they nerfed the rewards again. We now have seasonal chests that are basically useless. Number 23, Merge Tactics Season Reset. I haven't been mentioning Merge Tactics, but just know that in the background this mode has and continues to get horrible balance updates and OP rulers. To make things worse, the Merge Tactics ladder now also resets every season, taking you all the way back to the start. Climbing in this mode was already painfully slow and unrewarding, but at least now you get to do it every month. Yay! Number 24, Vines and Evo Baby Dragon. The damage multiplier on Goblin Curse was too complicated, but Vines gets to do like 50 different things. Also, can you believe that Baby Dragon was a single cycle Evo? Number 25, Evo Skarmy and Royal Ghost. You know the drill. Would you believe me if I told you that everything I just went through was only 6 months of updates? We're just over halfway. Please subscribe if you're still here. Like I said, I'm 30 away from 1,000, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Now remember the disaster I warned you about when I was talking about champions? Well, it has arrived. Number 26, Heroes. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to come up with a card mechanic that is more broken and pay to win than Evos. Honestly, Supercell needs to give all their devs a raise. No, seriously. These devs are world class. Every time we say they can't possibly make the game worse, they find a way. I don't think you could find any other devs that are this capable of constantly one-upping their horrible ideas. If you're somehow unaware, heroes are normal cards with abilities. Basically, it turns regular cards into champions. For example, Hero Musketeer can summon a Turret, Hero Knight can make all enemy troops retarget to him, and Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A can level itself up. This mechanic is impossible to balance because there's basically no downside to it. Champions are balanced with respect to their abilities. The base champion itself is weaker because it has an ability. Imagine a Monk, Archer Queen, or Skeleton King without its ability. Basically useless. Heroes aren't the same because the base card is still a regular card. It just gets an ability on top for free. You also don't even have to cycle them like Evos. And believe it or not, that isn't even the worst part. How do you get heroes? By pure luck. That's right, you collect 200 hero shards, then you get to summon a random hero. After spending months saving as a free-to-play, because each hero book pretty much only gives you 5 shards, you don't get to pick the hero you want. And at first, it was possible to get a duplicate hero. So beyond having no choice, you also had a chance of getting nothing. Simply put, you either pay or get crushed by everyone who has the new OP hero. Actually, sorry, 2 new OP heroes, because every deck can have 2 heroes on top of the 2 Evos, so half the deck is just broken BS. They did remove the chance of getting a duplicate, and they are now, 3 months later, letting you pick your hero, but it really doesn't matter, because you're never getting enough shards anyway. Heroes are so bad that they completely overshadowed the other Really bad part of this update. Number 27, level 16. Do I need to explain this, man? They added another card level and it's the same issue as always. Pay to win and remove content for most of the player buddies. They also made the XP requirement for King level 16 so high that upgrades below level 15 are now worthless XP wise. You could have all your cards at level 14 or 15 and still not be like King level 16. Number 28, crystals and removal of elite wildcards. Again, it's amazing how they make me miss things I hated. Elite wildcards sucked, but they were so much better than the new crystals. With level 16 they removed elite wildcards, so now when you get cards of a card you have maxed, you get crystals instead. And all you can do with crystals is buy useless emotes. At least before, getting a copy of a maxed card gave some form of progress, so having more maxed cards help you max faster. Now, getting maxed cards is completely useless, making the grind longer and more disappointing. Number 29, removal of books. They also removed books and replaced them with equivalent wildcards. I actually agree with the sentiment. I would much rather have wildcards than a book because wildcards are more flexible and can't be wasted. The issue is they removed the books and then did not increase the number of wildcards you get. Every place in the game where you used to get a book should be replaced with wildcards, but they didn't do that, so you just get less cards now. Number 30, gems for cards. Good in theory, because you can now directly buy the exact cards you want instead of having to wait until you randomly get them from a lucky chest. Bad in practice, because gem acquisition has been nerfed to hell. Can you believe all of this was just 2 back-to-back updates? And wait, I'm not done. Number 31, Evo Hogs, OP. Number 32, Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A, OP. Number 33, Hero Musket, OP. Number 34, Hero Knight, so OP it was nerfed before release. There, now I'm done. Removing the 13 backlog updates, the last year had 21 bad updates or changes. For reference, the last video had 37, 50 with the backlog, spanning 9 years. That's an average of 5.5 a year. They almost quadrupled that this year. Like I said, 2025 was a generational run. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and help me hit 1,000. Thank you again. Oh, and because I took so long to make this video, number 35, Hero Goblins. They were released. They are OP.